This is TWiT.
Foldable. Did you, would it be early for you? No, I guess it wouldn't have been early for you, Paul, and you're in Mexico City, and not for you, Mary Jo. We had it. It was 7 a.m. our time, the Samsung event. I made Jason Howell do it because, you know, he's the host of All About Android.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I actually haven't watched it yet. I will.
New Fold 3.
We're very interested in these folding phones, whether it's the flip style or the, open book style, whatever, but expensive, right? I mean, $17.99 and up.
Is that outrageous? I know. I can't. Well, and I have the original, or Fold 2 rather. I get
it, but
you know what I bought immediately though is the new Galaxy Watch. I think that's going to be interesting.
I'm interested in the earbuds as well with the ANC. We'll see. I'm going to go through all that stuff when I have time. I do some work every day while I'm away, so I just haven't done it yet. But I was very interested to see that Microsoft announced an expansion of their partnership to include some new software, or so I guess we should call it some improved software that works on these devices. There is a weird thing with folding phones. We can't call them screens, so it's kind of hard to refer to what you're seeing. But on either sides of the fold, whichever way you're folding it, you could have different apps. And so they kind of work like discrete screens, or you could call them, like we have in Windows and elsewhere, and on mobile too, the ability to snap application windows and have, two or maybe more of them, depending on the device, on screen at the same time. So, that work has been done partially by Google and Android. Samsung has done some of that work. Microsoft, we know, has done some work to enable developers to, in their case, dual screen apps, but dual screen apps work identically on folding screen devices, right? So this is all in the same wheelhouse, I guess we'll call it. The thing that they've announced here, it's funny, it's not that much stuff, right? So It's primarily, I would say Teams is the big thing. And then the other one is Outlook. And so in Teams, and you got to remember, Teams is a platform to itself. You can run apps in Teams. So one of the things you can do on mobile is display a PowerPoint presentation. This is the way they describe it, on one of the two, we'll call them screens, right? And then on the other, you can have the faces of your coworkers, and you're all, maybe one of you is presenting and other people are providing feedback. And so that's kind of neat. And that's something built into the app. It's not, and that makes sense because those are two tasks you would do simultaneously in Teams. The other one they mentioned was whiteboard. Same deal. You could be having a meeting at work and one of you is writing on the whiteboard. The whiteboard appears in one side or one screen using your S Pen, right? Because it's a Samsung device. And then the other side is the other people in the meeting. And then on the Outlook side, there's a new dual pane mode. I guess pane is not a bad way to put it, where you can read one email. It's so goofy when you talk about this stuff while you're previewing others on the other side. It's something we do every day in Windows. Even the Mail app, by the way, lets you, if you want to, it's convoluted, but you can pop out an email, snap it side by side with the main mail app, and then you can either look at your list of other emails or have another email. And you can, it's using one app to do snap, if that makes sense, instead of two separate apps.
Yeah. So it's basically what you can do on the Surface Duo, except they have to optimize the apps differently, right? Because of the hinge in the middle for the Duo and not on foldables, right?
You want to make sure nothing's in the middle.
Right.
And you have to have an understanding, by which I mean the app has to have an understanding of where that dividing line is.
Right.
Yeah. So this is, it's interesting. This is another indication of how mobile is becoming more sophisticated, because this type of thing where you have multiple windows of the same app is something we take for granted on Windows or on the Mac or any other desktop platform. And this is an example of that happening on mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Look, even with a normal smartphone, just a regular smartphone that everybody has, you should be able to do this stuff, because Android and probably iOS, I don't really use iOS, but Android definitely supports the ability to have two different applications in portrait mode, maybe even in landscape mode. I'm not sure. I never do this because to me this is worthless, but you have two different views of two different things. Usually these days there are two different apps, but now the apps are becoming more sophisticated, so you have two views of the same app instead of two different apps.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and if you have $1,799 plus tax burning a hole in your pocket,
I'm just going to get a Pixel 6. What about the Flip? Do you get any of those benefits with the Flip, which is much smaller?
So, my understanding is these features all apply to both phones. And it is much smaller. And by the way, that in the Flip fully extended is exactly what I just described. It's just a normal smartphone. Although I suppose you could use it in that kind of like a little book, like I don't know what you would call this, a little book.
I think you can like a little laptop.
Yeah, I guess you could do that.
Smurf laptop.
Or like a Nintendo, not a
Game
Boy.
Boy.
The one that flipped open.
Yeah.
No, at least with the Flip 2, they showed that. I'm sure you could do it with the Flip 3.
The only reason you want a flip phone is so you can flip the thing open and talk on it like you're from the 1970s or whatever. Like that, isn't that the appeal of it? Or like a razor phone from the 1990s?
No. The real appeal is so that you can hang up with a snap.
A satisfying snap.
Satisfying.
The last sound that person hears is the plastic hitting the plastic.
Good day, sir. Good day. Click.
Yes.
And then your phone breaks because it's not meant to be snapped.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think the Pixel. I think I'll stay.
I want the Pixel 6.
Yeah.
I don't want this.
I do too.
But that's why I got the Samsung Watch, because it looks like that's going to be the best Wear OS version.
Well, by the way, there's another example of Samsung partnering with another company, in this case Google, because they're
everybody's
basically
partnering
combining.
With them.
Well, they should. I've said this for a lot of things, and I'll just say folding phones / dual screen phones really fall into this category. Samsung has done all this work to bring Android to the desktop via DeX. They've done their folding things. And it's like, this really needs to kind of come from the platform, because you want it to be available to all phone makers, so that if Huawei or OnePlus or whatever other company, LG, Motorola, whatever, this is stuff that should be available to everyone. When Microsoft makes an app that works on Duo or works on the Flip Z or whatever they're calling it, that should work on any phone that folds. And you want this to be part of the platform. And so on the watch side, they're, I believe, stepping back from Tizen, right, and kind of going with some future version, or I guess they're moving to Android. What's it called? Wear OS or whatever. The Android. I'm sorry, the Google wearable platform.
Just Wear. That's all we say.
Wear. There you go.
Just Wear. One word says
Why
it all.
Wear? Where's
Why
Wear?
Wear not? Where is my Wear?
Where not? Exactly.